First of all, thanks for featuring my silly animation on your front page. I appreciate it there, Miss Channel. I guess that's your last name. Your first name would be Community. And I refuse to call you Com, so I'll call you Miss Channel. But I think your name is Nat, so I'll call you Nat. And if I'm wrong, correct me. The thing with Lisa Nova that bothers me the most is, first of all, she's taken up a lot of bandwidth from YouTube, which means it's costing YouTube money to allow her to keep spamming. But my issue with the partnership program has less to do with people like Lisa Nova who cheat. Well, that's not true. I mean, we do know that SMP Films Corey was a nice guy, but he's admitted that he cheated to get in the top list in the beginning of YouTube last year. Whether he did it or a friend did it or not, only he knows that. But we do know that he was using a refresher. We do know that there were fake subs. We do know that there are quite a few other people, like Little Loca, that have many fake accounts and subscribe to one another. And she's been spamming since day one. And in the same week they featured Lisa Nova and they featured Little Loca. YouTube is very inequitable. They keep featuring the same people over and over again. They feature very verbally abusive people like Blunty3000. Nate has made many videos and many comments abusing people. In fact, one time, Blunty made a comment on a video that I didn't even do, that on Sabernig's video, the comment he made was, "I want to get to America so I can piss on your brother's grave." These are the kind of people that are partners with YouTube. There's been several other instances where some really irresponsible people on YouTube have been featured. YouTube doesn't really care. I mean, first of all, you have two kids that are computer geeks running the show, and nothing wrong with computer geeks. I'm one. You're one. My point is that I don't know where they get off believing that they understand what people want to see, or understand how they feel that they can hire a bunch of people at very little money. I don't know what they pay. It's not a ton. To decide what gets featured and what doesn't. And then they started the guest editor program, and I've seen some really horrible instances of that. I also know for certain that several guest editors have requested my videos be featured, and YouTube denied them. I don't blame YouTube for denying them. My stuff is on the edge, risque, with an A. So I R-I-S-Q-U-E, but I'm American, so we spell it R-I-S-K-A-Y, because apparently we are a society of rednecks, according to most Europeans. Very funny. A bunch of racists in Europe caused rednecks. But anyway, that's my son, I completely agree with your sentiment. That being said, I also believe that YouTube is right now in a feudalistic flux. In other words, the vast majority of videos put on YouTube are not made by partners, and I can guarantee that the vast majority of views that YouTube gets are not coming from partners, which means that a very small group of people are benefiting on what a very large group of people do as work. That's feudalism. Is that typical of corporate structure? Absolutely. I don't understand. It's not random the way they're picking people. They're picking people based on views, and we know for certain that quite a few of these people are cheating or have cheated. And then you have other people that are on sites such as MetaCafe and things like that that are getting views that way, and I have no problem with them marketing themselves that way. It's just odd to me that YouTube doesn't have exclusivity clauses in their stuff, but that's on them. That seems to me to be idiocy when it comes to the way they formulated those contracts, or that may have something to do with the fact that Google and copyright laws are at odds with each other. It seems that Google doesn't give two shits less about intellectual property, unless of course they're in China, and then of course Google bends to anything the Chinese want. Amazing to me, absolutely amazing to me. A country that violates human rights in a way that no other country on a mass scale does. Google bends to, but yet Google won't pay the people doing their work here at YouTube a dime. Boy, Google sounds like they and China have a lot in common when it comes to economic policy. You can ask the rice farmers in Tibet, in northern Mongolia, and the Zhang region, the poor folks that live out there that happen to be religious, that get slaughtered on a regular basis by the Red Guard. Talk to them about it. Honestly, I think that this is piddly. As much as I agree with you that it's inequitable, as much as I agree with you that policy's been obviously broken here and YouTube doesn't care because they have their favorites, in the grand scale of thing, you made a comment to me once that you probably couldn't buy a box of cereal with the amount of money you get from one video. Well, that's at Australian prices. I mean, it's a joke. But I think that YouTube, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing. When I first came to YouTube, to me it was like Blogger, Blogger.com. Only you didn't have to write things down; you could actually say them. What it's turned into is competitive bullshit. The partnership program has turned people into mean people. Also, the alliances that happen within YouTube just absolutely crack me up. The politics that is played. And people don't care if people are nice people or whether they're ethical or responsible. The only thing they care about is that they're highly subscribed, and they just worship these people and kiss their ass and forget everything about who they are or what they pretend to stand for, when in fact they only stand for being one of the popular kids, just like they did in high school. And it's my understanding a lot of people have emailed me, very honestly, and said, I have a hard time meeting people, and this is the first time I've ever been popular. I don't particularly care if it's the first time you've been popular. You, as an adult, you still have a responsibility to be somewhat ethical and not an asshole. And we have quite a few instances of that on YouTube. Blunty has just been completely irresponsible with the way he responds to people and how nasty he is. And there have been some instances I've met people personally where they've been personally so irresponsible toward people's professional and personal lives that it's ridiculous. There are other people that like to expose people's personal lives here on YouTube, like Hellion Exciter, and most of the time he's wrong about what he says, which is even funnier. But people like that need to go as well. I don't think there's a need for that here. Politics of personal destruction are wrong. But what's funny is YouTube will give Hellion Exciter back his account and let him do what he does and hurt people, but yet they won't let Michelle Malkin do a video that's criticizing Islam, or at least fundamentalist Islam. Funny. Hypocrisy is a perfect word, and I think you hit the nail on the head with hypocrisy. And you are one of the few big YouTubers besides Zipster that I watch, and probably will continue that way. But I don't care if YouTube offers me $1 million a year until everyone is included in the partnership program. Everyone that makes a video. I think it's wrong that anybody gets anything. I think it's bullshit. And that's what people should be loud about. Not about Lisa Nova spamming, but about the inequity and the feudalistic state of YouTube and how it literally has ripped the community to pieces.